Kind of wanted to do another rundown, so I thought I would do a video just of screenshots of different things that I think are important in blog design, and just pretty much recap what we talked about in our class. But hopefully it's a little more organized and a little bit easier to see, since I'll have a visual this time with my slides, and being able to show you what I'm actually doing on the internet when I'm doing a blog design. What I wanted to start out with, and if you were in my class, in our class, of course, we've already gone through this, but some of the things that stand in the way of people having great blog designs, I think it's just super mental. And these are some of the things I hear from people all the time when we're talking about their blog design, or when they've asked me to design a blog for them. I'll hear, oh, my blog's so small, so, don't worry about this, or don't worry about that. No one sees it anyway, so it's not a big deal. Which I call only big blogs get to look good syndrome, and it's totally false. A lot of those blogs got to be big blogs because they looked good, and that lent them a lot of credibility. So no matter how small you are, I think that you should be wanting and thinking that you deserve a nice looking blog, because everyone does. And of course, that HTML stuff is way over my head. I hear that all the time, and I'm sure a lot of you are thinking that yourselves. But we're going to cover that in just a second. I definitely want to spend a chunk of time talking about HTML. I can't figure out how to use my illustrating program, so I just gave up. And we are definitely going to talk about PicMonkey, because I love PicMonkey, and I'm so excited that I get to work with them some this year in promoting their site. And I definitely want to make sure you all know how to use PicMonkey and understand how easy it is to transition from creating something on PicMonkey to installing it on your blog. And then finally, I'm on Blogger, or I'm on WordPress.com, which is the not self-hosted one. So that means I can't do much with my design, which is totally false. You can still do a lot with your design on both of those platforms, and we're going to touch on both of those briefly. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about though is HTML, because it's sort of a language that you just have to learn to read. And it's not nearly as scary once you understand just a few key phrases. And it's mostly about copying and pasting. I mean, you need to be able to do a little bit of recognition, recognizing certain bits of code, but for the most part, it's just knowing where to find code to copy and then knowing where to paste that code. So I'm going to show you that right now. At the bottom of the slide, you'll see I put how to center your HTML, and I just put that because so many people, when they first start designing their blog, it's all aligned just funky everywhere, and they can't figure out why, and they're pulling out their hair, and you just want to quit because you think, oh, it's just not going to work. But a lot of times you just need to center things. And when you're working with HTML, the way you tell your code, or you tell your image where you want it to be, which is in the center of your area, is by putting center tags on either side, just like this. So your HTML will go right there where that red is. Sorry, I'm pointing at the screen with my finger. You want to put your HTML right where that red is, and then a center tag on each side. Okay, so what do we need first? Well, we need an image, because that's what a design is. It's just a bunch of images, and we use HTML to tell our blog where we want those images. So let's start out with that, how to create an image. And what I'd like to do basically is actually show you how the images and the HTML work hand in hand. So I'd like to basically break down designing a blog right now, so you can see it, so you can understand what to do with the HTML, what to do with the images, and how to get both of those. So I'm going to exit out of my slideshow. And what I've done is I've got a tab up here. I have a blank blog with nothing on it, and this one's on Blogger, although you would use a similar technique for WordPress.com and WordPress, a self-hosted WordPress blog. But just a quick note, if you are on a self-hosted WordPress blog, you will need to install Simple Hooks. It's a plugin, and once you install that, you can put HTML in your footer and in your header, and that's how you'll be able to put in like a header, like what we're going to do with HTML. But for right now, I'm just going to show you on Blogger because it's a great simple place to start. So I've got Blogger here. The first thing you want to do when you're designing your blog is come down here and make sure that your blog is running on simple. And you want to come all the way over here to the right to this plain white one. That way, a lot of people are on this one when they go to simple, and you see it's got that blue in the background. And you can still design over that and put a new background on, but for some reason that blue still shows up for like 5 seconds when your page is loading. So if you want to avoid that, make sure you go to this this white one. Okay, so we've applied that to our blog, and here we can see a preview of what it looks like. Let's go ahead and go into our HTML. Okay, so this is where it gets scary for most people. Most of you want to turn and run right now, and that's okay. Make sure you expand your widgets. What we're doing right now is we need to make sure, actually, let me get out of here and show you first. So when you go to layout, you have a header, right? And Blogger automatically gives you this nice little header area to upload a picture or to just type in your words, the title of your blog or whatever. But the problem is that it's ugly and it's not very functional. We can't put in anything custom into this header. We can't put social media icons. We can't put a custom navigation bar. You can't make your header look however you want it to look. So what we need to do is actually get rid of this header so that we can just put an HTML code here instead of the Blogger standard header. So that's what we're doing first, is getting rid of that header. So we come back over here to template, go into HTML, expand your widget templates. Okay, what we're going to do first is find, and I just type in header, and it takes me just a minute to find it. You have to click through a few next, and I'll show you what we're looking for. I always forget the other keyword to look for, so I just go through all the headers for a second. When we get down there, I'll find the better keyword for you to look for, so you don't have to do this. Oh, I think I passed it. Oh. Here we are. Okay. So this is the bit of code that you're looking for, and I only know it because I've done this so many times that I can recognize it. But you can actually just Google this, Google how to remove Blogger header, and it'll give you the code to look for, so you could maybe search for a better keyword. But this is the piece of code you're looking for. So if you want to get a good look at it, so you can recognize it, I don't know if you can take a screenshot, but specifically, we're looking for right here where it says max widgets. We want to change that to more than one. I always put 4 because that was the number in the first example I saw that taught me how to do this. So it's just a habit. But anything greater than 1. And what that does is allow us to put multiple HTML in that header section if we want to. So if you're putting ads above your header or below your header, it just gives you a little bit more flexibility, but really just more than 1 is all we're looking for. Okay, if you come down here to this next line where it says header 1 locked true, we want to change that true to false, because what that piece of code is saying is that we want the Blogger standard header, but we don't. So we are changing that to false. And you're done. So you save it, close out, go back into your layout, and now when we open header, we have the option to remove it, and that is what you want to do. So go ahead and remove your header. Okay, now the fun part starts. Now we get to actually design a header. I do everything in PicMonkey, absolutely everything. I love it because it is super intuitive, super easy to use. They have really, really cute stuff, and I like all their fonts, and there's just so much flexibility, especially being able to use your own overlays. So what I'm doing right now, by the way, is I'm opening a photo, and it doesn't matter what photo you open, you just have to pick one. So this is one I did today. What we want to do is come over here to overlays. It's just the picture of the shapes. Geometric. And go ahead and grab a rectangle. This is what's called whitewashing. At least I've heard it called that, and it made sense to me, so I've stuck with it. What we're doing is whiting out this picture so that you can color on it, basically. You can design whatever you'd like on it. This is your merge button. So click merge, and now this is one image. You don't have a photo underneath it. It is just a white image. And we're going to save it under a different name, so you won't replace the photo that you opened. So you're not losing anything here. We're just creating a new photo. All right. Every blog's different as far as measurements go, and you're going to have to kind of figure that out on your own, just how big you'd like it to be, and you can find that in the designer section of your blog. But I usually like to be around 900 for a header, and I usually do about 400. Oops, we got to keep our proportions here. So that's a good thing to know. Uncheck the keep proportions. Otherwise, it's going to keep your photo in a 3:2 ratio, and that's not what we're looking for a header. So we want to change this to about 900 pixels by 400 is pretty good. Somewhere between 300 and 400 is where you want to stick. Since I'm not going to be adding a lot of design to this tonight, I'm just going to do 300 and just give you an idea of what you might like to do here. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to make this really simple, or else this video could last all night. But from this point, I like to just play in overlays and you know, change things to be, you know, whatever colors I like that match my blog. Let's do a pink, right? And we want to make sure all of our colors match, so come up here and grab the color code of whatever you used, if you want it to match. I like a lot of my stuff to match. And we'll come down here. See, they have all sorts of really neat overlays, and look, they have new seasonal stuff right here, actually, that I haven't even really had a chance to dig into. This is my favorite section. I love these labels and the banners. In fact, actually, I want to check my rectangle. And I want a banner that looks like this.
You've got mail.
Sorry, that was my phone. Okay, so let's duplicate this overlay because I want it to be skinny, but I want it to be longer. So see how it's so easy. You just line them up, and this way you make a banner that looks just like how you wanted it to look. Okay, and then where I was heading originally was down here to labels, just my favorite. Go with my favorite one here. You just change the color so that it looks the way you want it to look. Let's do purple. Okay. So you see how the header's starting to come together. Sorry, my computer's dragging a little bit tonight. It must know that I'm doing something important. Okay, so I'm over here looking at fonts, and this is one of my favorites, so I'm just going to go with this one. And type text it, so we're going to say BYBC demo blog. Make it a little bigger. All one line. Oh, it needs to be a little smaller. All right. And then let's say we want to add, and again, this is all just super rough, but as you play with it, you'll get the hang of it. But let's say we want to add a menu to our blog. So we're going to say home. Always make sure you put a home button. Recipe, let's do about. That's a good standard one. Do recipes since I'm a food blogger. This is another one I have. Sponsors. And we'll do an index here. Let's say I want it to take up a little more space. Do it like this. Okay, and then everybody asks me about social media icons. So let's say we want to add some social media icons. I like to do circles because they're cute and easy and simple. But you can do social media icons any way you'd like to up over here. Like let's say you have some cute images, social media images you've downloaded, you know, from the internet or whatever that you'd like to use or that someone designed for you. You can use those here as well. It's just so much easier sometimes to use the things that PicMonkey has available. And of course, those aren't super even, but if I was taking more time, make sure they're all lined up nice and evenly. Now, here's the fun part. So we get to use our own overlays. So if you come to the very top, there's an option to add your own overlays. I have previously downloaded social media silhouettes that I really like, and that's the term that you want to search for when you're looking for them, is silhouettes. All right, and I just have them saved to a folder on my desktop, and this is where I come grab them when I'm ready to design a blog or change my header for the 20th time in a month. So this is how I like to do it. I like to do the white social media icon on a dark color. You can do it the other way around, however you want. Let's go ahead and do one more. We'll do Twitter. I like this one. And I've seen all sorts of cute Twitter icons, you know, like lots of different birds, and you can really play with that and have fun. Okay, so that's, I mean, you get the idea with that. We save it to our desktop, and I'm going to say BYBC demo header. Always save in PNG so that your image looks crisp. Otherwise, if you save it as a JPEG, I'm just going to save it to desktop here so I don't lose it. If you save it as a JPEG, it'll start to look blurry. You're definitely going to lose some quality of the image. So always save in PNG. Okay. If you were in my class, I told you about my dirty little secret. I have a design page, design blog that I use, and it's messy. That's why it's my dirty little secret, because I don't do anything fancy with it. This blog is totally for function only, so I don't have it designed or anything, as you can see. But if you'll take a look at it with me, and I promise we'll get back to that header, what I have in the sidebars are just things that I want easily accessible. Over here are different color schemes that different design clients have asked that I follow. That way I can just grab the color. And you can grab a color, by the way, downloading ColorZilla is a Firefox plugin. It's right here. You just click on your eyedropper, come over here, and grab a color. Anyway, so I like that. I like having those color schemes easily accessible to me when I'm designing. And then over here on the right are links that I use a lot, or I've organized all of the images that I've uploaded to this blog here by labels so that I can easily get to anyone's blog design images that I want to see. Let me get plugged in here. I've used more battery power than I thought I would. And then on the right, I also have helpful links like my blog design Pinterest board, a couple of different topics that I found helpful, and lots of HTML code. And this is what I suggest doing, is as you do research and you start finding HTML codes to do certain things, because, by the way, it is all out there on the internet. All you need to do is Google how do HTML code for a post divider, and it's right here. So find some place, maybe you want to keep it in a text document or wherever you like to keep it. But me, I just like to have it on this blog so that everything's here, really quick access, so that I can just copy a code and go. Anyway, what else I do here, though, is this is where I host my images. And it might be kind of the clunky hillbilly way to do it. I know you can do it in Picasa and in PhotoBucket and whatever, but this is what works for me, so that's what I wanted to show you. So just like when you're writing a post, you come in here to upload your image, and here's my header. Oops. Okay, It's selected, just like normal. Okay, this is super important. Make sure you click on original size. Otherwise, you're going to have a tiny little image. Okay. And this is how I keep everything organized in here. Okay, let's go ahead and publish. And I want to look at this post. Okay. So from this point, now we have our image. We've designed our image. We want to put it on our blog, okay? Which means we need to put it in some HTML. We need this HTML, though, to say more than show this image. We need our HTML to say, when I click here, take me to my home page. When I click here, take me to the About page. When I click here, take me to my Pinterest page. So we need to do some work on this code first. And actually what we're going to do is map this image. Okay, we do that at a really, really cool site called imagemaps.com. And it is free, which is just awesome. And this is for people like me who are not computer whizzes or super techie. They've made it really, really easy and user-friendly, and you don't have to have some fancy graphic design knowledge to use it. So we're going to come in here and grab our image location and pop it in here. Don't upload it from your computer because Image Maps will only host it for a couple of days for you. After that, you'll lose your image, so it'll just be gone one day and you won't know why. Make sure you're hosting it yourself on your own blog or in Picasa or something, and then put your image URL right there. Start mapping your image, and it's going to take 10 seconds here. And I just realized how long I've been talking, so I'm going to try and hurry this along because even in the class I wasn't supposed to talk this long. So I'm sorry that it's dragging out, but I'm hoping you're finding it helpful to actually see how this is all done. Okay, here's where we actually map the image. And again, it's super intuitive, super easy to use. Right here you want to click on rectangle, and this is how we select an area. Like I mentioned in our class, always do a big old rectangle right here that goes to your home page. Because even though you have a home tab, people are still going to click on the middle of your header to go to your home page. So just go ahead and save yourself a headache and all of your readers a headache and just put that there. And then you'll start filling in the blanks. You'll add a rectangle for each link that you want to add. And obviously I'm not going to go through and fill all of these out. But you get the idea. So you add, and you come up here and you just change the rectangle size to whatever you need it to be. Okay. Get one of those right. Okay. Click Save. So you'll fill in the whole square there, your whole image. These are text links, and we don't want those. So we need to come down to this box right here that says Show Text Links and uncheck it. Go to Get Your Code. You can ignore all of this and just come up here where it says HTML code, and there's your code. Beautiful. It's all done for us. You didn't have to do anything hard, right? So all you do is highlight it and copy. Okay, we go back to our layout. And our header's gone, so we're all ready to, we're in business. Add a gadget. Come down to HTML. Okay, and just go ahead and add your center tag. Oops, sorry. Paste your code. Add your back center tag. Save it. And we should be in business. And there is our header. It's beautiful, and you can click home. Of course, right now it's going to take you to my page because that's what I linked up, but you can see down here that all of the links that we put in are working. And then there are a lot of different things you can do to design the rest of your blog. You can design a background. You can design fun things to go here in your sidebar. I'll show you one that I did recently. Using the same method that I told you about. Everything that you'll see here, I did exactly the way we just did it. With an image, mapped the image, and then pasted the HTML into a gadget and layout. So all of this is just what you saw. Just the fonts that are already in PicMonkey. This is clip art, so this was an overlay that I inserted in PicMonkey. Social media icons, just like what we went over. This is an image. I used overlays and image in PicMonkey and just put it all together. And this actually isn't linked to anything. Same thing here. These sidebar titles, they're just images. That's one of the standard fonts in PicMonkey, and I think these are just periods. I don't think I did circles. They're just periods all lined up so that it's straight. And you can actually change in a line of text in PicMonkey. You can change each color of individual characters within the same line, which is so neat, and that's an upgrade from Picnic, which is what PicMonkey used to be. This background I also did in PicMonkey. That one chevron stripe is an overlay, and I just duplicated it all the way down the page. And if you go to my blog, somethingswanky.com, there's a tutorial on how to create your own custom background. So I actually won't get into all of this tonight, especially as this video is already getting pretty long. But I just wanted to show you how it translates into real blog design. So hopefully that was helpful. Let me go back to my slide and see if there's anything else I wanted to cover. So real quick, working with WordPress.com, I do want to show you one that I just did recently, and I need to extend the sides of her background. You'll see here in a second, but this is on WordPress.com. The trouble with WordPress.com is that you don't have a lot of freedom and flexibility in where you put HTML. You're really, really restricted. Like we can't do a custom menu bar. So I had to find a theme that I kind of liked and went from there. But this is an image I designed in PicMonkey, the header is, and then you just upload the picture. This bunting is clip art that I just made into a background image and again just uploaded. This is HTML, and WordPress.com, your sidebars are essential. You HTML like crazy in your sidebars. So that's where I put her social media icons, because they're front and center, first thing you see when you get there. And it's just super easy. It's the same thing we just did. It's images, overlays, and text in PicMonkey, and then mapped in imagemaps.com. This is an image as well. And what I do want to show you before I end this video is going back to my design blog. One of the codes that I keep here in my sidebar, because as simple as it is, I just cannot seem to commit it to memory, is this code right here. That single line of code just says I want to put a picture here, which is what I did right here. So this isn't a link or anything, but in this section I couldn't, that was the only way to put a cute sidebar gadget, was just to add a little HTML. So that's what I did using that code. It's the same process where we create an image, we grab a code, and you paste your image URL right here. And that's how you say what image you want. Okay, if you wanted to create an image with a link, just a single image with a link, so not an image with multiple links, but with a single link, you can use this code right here. And I'm going to leave this blog open for a little while just so that you all can come here and grab codes and links if you'd like. It's somethingswankydesigns.blogspot.com. It's not fancy or decorated or anything, and it's always a mess. But you can see the codes for different things that I use right here in the sidebar, and you can just help yourselves. I found all of this just by doing Google searches online, and you are more than welcome to any of it that you would like. So anyway, so this is WordPress.com. So that's not bad, right? I mean, considering how limited you are in WordPress.com, I was actually really pleased with how this one turned out. And I love, the super cute colors and everything. So that was a fun one. Let's see. And then Blogger Hacks. The only thing that I want to say about this Blogger Hacks is just it's ways to add different functionality to your Blogger blog to make it look, well, I say to make it look like Pinterest, or to make it look like WordPress, but to make it look just nicer and more functional and a little more custom. What you need to know is where to look and how to search. literally, when you are looking for something, don't be afraid to say, how do I make my header look cool with drop-down menus that look like this blog? I mean, make it as broad or as many words as you want in the search, and then as you're searching, you're going to see keywords. Like how to install drop-down menu in Blogger, maybe is what you were meaning to look for. But until you know the jargon, just search whatever you want, and it'll narrow down. You'll be able to narrow down your search as you go. That's a big thing, though, is starting to pick up and learning those design keywords to search for. Pinterest boards. Pinterest is huge, 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 huge. There's so much help on Pinterest. It's unreal. My Pinterest design board is around here somewhere. Here it is. But you can just search blog design on Pinterest and pull up tons and tons of boards. So here's my pin for how to create a custom background. Utilize the bottom of your post with blog design. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff in here. I like to put my clip art in here, free clip art that I find, or free fonts. All sorts of fun stuff is on Pinterest, so don't underutilize that. Make sure that you know that there's resources on there. And then just make sure you are utilizing HTML, because that is really how this all works. And then the last page was in the conference, I originally wanted to be able to maybe go through different blogs that you guys admired and just kind of break down their designs for you and show you how you can make it for yourself. But since I didn't have my Wi-Fi and slideshow going, we didn't get to that. But I think we actually covered everything tonight going through this demo header. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me anytime, somethingswanky@gmail.com, and I will do my best to get back to you. You'll have to forgive me if it takes me a little bit of time. I'm a little bit slow returning emails, but I always get to them. So if you have a question, please feel free to email me, and I would be more than happy to help. And I hope that you have, I'll pull this back up so you can see this as I'm talking. I hope that this has been a little helpful to you and you're feeling a little less intimidated by HTML. And seriously, just come by this blog right here. I probably will make it private at some point just because some of my custom images are up here that I've created. And anyway, I don't want those really getting out. But for the next month or so, I'll leave it public so that anyone can come here and just feel free to grab these codes. There's all sorts of good stuff here, and I'm constantly adding to it as I design stuff. And that is it. So I'm so glad that you stopped by, and I'm so glad that I got to meet those of you I did at the conference. And hopefully this was helpful. And just go be brave and make your blogs look good, because you can do it. So again, if you have any questions, email me. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.